Hi boys and girls, I'm Mr. Broniak from Ingomar Elementary, and we're going to get ready and do what I call the 6 risk factor scavenger hunt. We're going to talk about the 6 risk factors that lead to the #1 killer of people in the world today, and that's heart disease. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to find these 6 items throughout your house. Hopefully you have most of them. If you don't, that's okay. So you're going to get ready, you're going to hit the timer on the screen, and then, as fast as you possibly can, you're going to run all about your house, or move fast as you can, and grab these items. Here's what you need. You're going to need a pencil or a pen. You're going to need some type of unhealthy or salty food. So that could be potato chips, something along those lines. You're going to find some sugary snack, maybe a candy, something along those lines, if you have that. Then, I want you to also find a pillow, a chair, and a hose, maybe a garden hose or something along those lines. So you're going to find those objects throughout your house. You can bring them back to your iPad or your computer if you want, or you can just touch those and then come back and see us. All right? Go for it. Hope you had a good scavenger hunt, boys and girls. Here are a few items that I found in my scavenger hunt. The first thing that I want to talk about is our chair or our pillow. Now, don't get me wrong, the pillow is really important because you need sleep, but we're going to really talk about our chair. This represents physical inactivity, or as we like to say, a couch potato. So our chair is going to be inactivity. That is one risk factor to increase your chances of heart disease. So remember, get your 60 minutes of physical activity every day. You're meant to move, don't sit down too long. Our next item, boys and girls, if you found a pencil or a pen, we're going to call this our cigarette, or our smoking, our vaping. Sometimes vaping can be found in a little disc. Cigarettes and smoking. There's over 70 chemicals in cigarettes and types of vaping that are known to cause cancer and heart disease. This is one of the very dangerous risk factors. There's nicotine in smoking and vaping that is also extremely addictive, meaning it's really hard to stop. So please, don't start, don't try it, stay away from the smoking and the vaping. Another risk factor, going back to our chair and our pillow, is being overweight. I grabbed a replica of that, and by eating a poor diet, not being physically active, you can become overweight or obese, and that's another risk factor for heart disease. Next, boys and girls, we're going to look at some of the foods that you brought back. Salty foods. This really leads to high blood pressure. That's one of the risk factors, high blood pressure. High cholesterol, sugary foods. This also leads to high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Sugar is one of the worst things for our body. So another thing with sugar too is it leads to type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is also another risk factor for heart disease. So we just said high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. Those are 3 more risk factors for heart disease. Let's take a look. If we have a poor diet and we're inactive, how we talked about that before, as that high cholesterol builds up, the artery, the blood and oxygen can no longer get through your arteries. So it's going to change from this to something more like this, where the blood and the oxygen cannot travel through. I like to use the hose to represent high blood pressure. So the high cholesterol, the artery in here is going to narrow, and it's going to be tough for the blood and the oxygen to get through, like we just showed you. Or if you put a kink in that hose and you think about the water not being able to travel through, or in this case the blood and oxygen not being able to travel through, the pressure in the hose is going to get to be so much that it could explode. So that's just another example of high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So those are the other 3 risk factors. All right, boys and girls, so let's recap. Here's our 6 harmful risk factors that can lead to our #1 killer, heart disease. physical inactivity, or as we like to say, a couch potato, smoking, vaping, a poor diet, which can lead to high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. So those are our 6 risk factors for heart disease.